Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. I'm Clyde Whiting, and tonight we are back in our favourite series, the BSTV GT4 TCR Challenge. Season 7, Round 2, brought to you from the newly scanned and released Watkins Glen track. We are running the boot version, and it seems like every series we've broadcast over the last week or so has been at Watkins Glen. In the booth with me tonight, I have the man, the mystery himself, Mr. Yaz Not Yaz. Good evening.
Evening, and glad to be back this week. Looking forward to this new season. Well, 2 rounds in tonight, so it's going to be fun.
It certainly will. And on the cameras and doing all the magic that you can see on your screens. At the moment, I can see a gorilla for some reason. It is Sam Boozin. I don't think there's any, I don't think Sam is a gorilla, but you never know. Good evening, Sam.
Good evening.
Anybody else seen that gorilla? Or is it just me? I don't know. Anyway.
No, I don't know.
Yaz, so you missed out, didn't you, last week? Absolutely fantastic racing. Obviously, we've got a bit of a depleted GT4 field, but they still managed to give us all the thrills and spills. And then the 2 new cars in TCR class have really rejuvenated that field. I think we've got 15 of them tonight. A, did you watch the race last week? I'm sure you did, because I think I remember you being on the chat. B, what did you think? And C, what do you think we're going to get tonight?
Yeah, I did catch quite a bit of that race last week, there was some of the regulars up front there, but guess what? Stephen Walker didn't win the TCR race, the first one out this season. So that's definitely going to be a humdinger of a season down there in the TCRs. The GT4s were a little bit of the regulars up front there with Weber winning and Tyler coming in second. Chris Needham put in a good show last week with a good 3rd place finish.
Yep.
Yeah, and looking at the standings now, because he actually didn't put a foot wrong last week and got no penalty points, he's actually sitting in 2nd place in the championship. So there's a lot to play for in these championships this season, both sides. I think, like you say, with the new TCRs that have been added into play, it's just made that class a whole lot more popular, and even a bigger field than what we've had before last season and the seasons before.
Yeah, definitely. So we're in the 15-minute qualifying session at the moment. We just started. Yaz has already said about the GT4 result from last week. In TCR, Spencer McCarthy took away the win with Sam Blees in 2nd and Lucky Walker in 3rd. Now, Sam tells me reliably that he can show you the standings now. He's done some magic with SDK. So after 1 round, Wobbly Kneecaps leads the way in GT4 with Chris Needham in 2nd and Tyler Newitt in 3rd. In TCR, Spencer McCarthy leads the way after his win. Sam Blees in 2nd and Stephen Walker in 3rd. In the team standings, Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing lead the way with Spectre 6 Purple in 2nd and BSTV Esports Pink in 3rd. In the driver of the meeting, we got 2 votes for Chris Needham and 1 for Arnaud Chenonnier. And for those of you that were paying attention last week, we have started the head-to-head challenge brought to you by Simability. We are currently in the group stage. In TCR, Matt Elmore and Ralph Cullinan lead the way in Group 1. Spencer McCarthy, Gary Craig, Group 2. Sam Blees and Stephen Walker in Group 3. And Shane Powell and Roger Morton in Group 4. In GT4's, Wobbly Kneecaps and Chris Needham lead the way in Group 1, Tyler Newitt and Stefan Goebel in Group 2. So those group stages run right through to Week 6, and at the end of Week 6, the top 2 in each group in the TCRs will go through to the quarterfinals, and in the GT4s, they will go straight through to the semi-finals. So, back to tonight. So Watkins Glen, just watching a little bit of this practice session, Yaz, and few of the TCRs seem to be having a little bit of a problem with the bus stop.
Yeah, so this is the I say this in inverted commas, the new Watkins Glen. There's been some updates on the track that have made it a little bit different to what the guys are used to. That section that we're looking at there now is completely tarred out. There's no grass anymore. Very easy to get an off track there now. Before, if you saw the grass and you got in the grass, you got a 1x there. Now you sort of just hoping that you get the car back on track. Again, same thing in the bus stop. Again, there's some new curbs that they've put in that you'll see them come up there. The other night, I was actually in one of the practice sessions with the guys driving the Honda, and that Honda just doesn't. Yeah, the Honda just doesn't like those curbs. It just bounces all over the place like a pogo stick. So those curbs are a little bit harsh on some of the TCRs.
Yeah, this one that we're looking at. Sorry to jump in, Yaz, but just while the camera's on there. I'm glad we're running this layout, because on the other layouts, the cars are allowed to take what I call the NASCAR line now, not to be confused with the NASCAR lines, but it sort of makes a mockery of that curb. The curb ends up in the middle of the track, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's a little bit. It does require a different. It does allow you to do a different line, but it also requires you to be a little bit more attentive on what you're doing there. But yeah, I think the big difference around here now is you can just see there's just so much more room to go out wide with the tarmacs that have been the tarmacs that have replaced the grass. Coming into the second last corner, the same. You can see this massive. You can go quite wide there now. Before, if you put a foot on the grass there, you just go sliding all over into the wall on the far side. But so we'll see if the guys can take advantage of that and make it go. They can go a bit faster without having to obviously sacrifice the off-track points and negative points that might be on offer there.
Yeah, I must admit, I am a fan of Watkins Glen, even though what I'm about to say is slightly negative. I really enjoy driving this track, but it's not an easy track to overtake on, and it does invite dive bombing. That is my only bugbear with this track, that sometimes drivers have to take, shall we say, well, not the rules into their own hands, but, they have to do things that you wouldn't normally expect, especially in this league, because we know how clean and tidy and courteous it is. But sometimes you just have to do it here to get past, don't you?
Yeah, you're right. You're right when you say that. A pass around here is, there's a few places I can think of that it's really possible. But even being possible, it does require you to take a risk. To put it up the inside. It's not just one of those places where you can drive past. Even on the long straight where the draft is massive, it's just not long enough to be able to just make an easy pass down that straight, and when you pull out into the side, you really need to put it up the inside before the chicane and hope that the person next to you is compliant and lets you go by. Where you see them coming down here now is another one of those places where someone might put it up the inside, but also again a risky place to do it. It's exactly like you say. It's one of those places that doesn't really invite overtaking and passing very easily. It does take a mistake from someone, or really needing to put in something very risky to get past?
Yeah, I'll literally just echo your comment there. I think this is one of those tracks that to get past, you've got three options. You throw your car in where it's not really expected, needed, required, and hope that the other car is compliant. The other car makes a mistake and you get past, or you work your knackers off for 2 or 3 laps to get past somebody, and they are your three options. Especially with the bus stop, you're right. You know, without the bus stop, the toe down that long straight can just about get you past somebody, but here, by the time you're feeling the full effect of that toe, it's time to slam the anchors on to get through the bus stop. So let's see how creative these guys can get tonight. So 11 and a half minutes into qualifying, currently that makes a change, doesn't it? We've got 5 GT4s and 4 of them are Maccas. Top 3, wobbly kneecaps, Martin Versluwen and Tyler Newitt, all in McLarens. We've got a Hyundai at the top of TCR at the moment with Lucky Walker, a Honda in second with Gary Craig, and a Hyundai in third with Sam Blees. But still 3 minutes to go, and as we've seen before, everything can change before the race gets underway.
Yeah, no, it's definitely we're seeing the usual suspects there. Last week on the chat, I wasn't in the box here, but on the chat I called Martin Versluwen for the win. I think I may have jinxed him because he had an incident quite early on. But yeah, we see him up in second place ahead of Tyler, just slightly. We've seen his quality in the other leagues that have been run. So I expect big things from him this season. If he can get it over the line, hopefully this evening. And then in the TCRs, look at that. Gary Craig has put one ahead of Stephen Walker at the moment.
He certainly has, yeah.
Stephen Walker only finishing third last week, which he didn't finish third last season at all. It was either 1 or 2 last season. So he's got to run for his money and really got to work hard this season to get it back up there and to take some wins. The guys definitely want to hunt him down and make him work for the season.
Yeah, shock news on the chat. Send Cullen lives and says, no shock, Mr. Bingham is near the bottom. I don't know if he means the bottom of the leaderboard or somebody's bottom or what. No idea. We'll let the viewers make their own mind up on that one. But yeah, Gary Craig, currently pole position in TCR, although Lucky Walker and Sam Blees and Shane Powell has now got himself up into 4th, but they are all out on track. Michael Gray was very quick last week as well. He currently sits 6th. Spencer McCarthy, he is at the bottom and hasn't set a time yet. So whether he's been for a toilet break or whether he just hasn't been able to get a clean lap in. But if he does get one in, I would expect him to jump up that leaderboard quite a bit. 35 seconds to go now. No change in GT4. Let's see if Spencer's got a clean one in this time.
Just echoing on the conversation we were having earlier with guys needing to make mistakes to get the pass. I think it's the guys are going to struggle a little bit more. Again, with these modifications that have been made, and where you can run out wide on these concrete, on the tarmacs that have been extended. Even a mistake is not that punishable around here anymore. Because you're not going to lose any speed, you're not going to lose anything really. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how, sitting, it will be nice to be sitting in the draft and scoring some freebie tire saving and fuel saving. But then eventually you need to make that pass, and that's not going to be easy.
Agreed, yeah. Checkers are out. That lap took Spencer McCarthy up to third place in TCR. Michael Gray has got himself up to fourth, which has relegated Sam Blees into fifth. So drivers on a lap can finish their lap.
Looks like these geodesic drivers are working together here to try and put some lap time.
Doesn't it? But it's Spencer. Yeah, there was a bit of a tow going on there, wasn't there? Spencer's got 2 green sectors and a yellow sector. Another green sector.
It's only 2/10 between him and the top spot, so if he can put it together here in this last section, he may be very close up front there.
He's about to cross the line. And he did. I'm sure he did. He certainly did. A 57.22 to take pole position in TCR. So, just a quick reminder to everybody at home and evening to Wayne Sanderson on the chat. 60-minute race. Cars are fuel limited. They will need to stop for fuel. I believe the TCRs are at 40%, GT4s at 50%. I say I believe, I should know because I put them in there, but everybody knows what my memory is like. So let's wait till we get the grid up and see what your starting order is for tonight. Just got to wait for the session to click over. Put you on the spot, Mr. Yaz. Pick 2 winners.
Pick a winner. Well, last week I picked one and crashed out, so I'm going to pick Weber Niekamp for the same reasons, hopefully. No, jokes aside, I'm still going to go with Martin again this week. I'm hoping that he can put one on in the GT4s, and then in the TCRs, I want to back Gary Craig. He's due one for a long time now. I know you got one last season, but I want to back him tonight for that spot.
Okay, so let's run through your starting grid. So, wobbly kneecaps for BSTV Esports Pink goes off in pole or on pole for in the GT4 class. Tyler Newitt, BSTV Esports Orange in second. Martijn Versluwen, Dutchies Esports in third. Chris Needham goes off fourth, and Jason Haddington in fifth. Over to you, Yaz.
In the TCRs, we have Spencer McCarthy. We just saw that fabulous lap right at the end there to go into pole. That's for Alpine Geodesic Racing. Gary Craig in second for BSTV Esport Green. Stephen Hawker, Spectre 6 Purple in third. Michael Gray, XVR Sim Racing in fourth. Sam Blees, Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing in fifth. Shane Powell, Spectre 6 Purple. In seventh, we have Matt Almore for Spectre 6. Adam Wright in eighth for BSTV Esport Orange. Pete Bingham, BSTV Esport Green in 9th. Carl Hardy, safeguard by result. 10th, Martin Brennan, 11th, safeguard by result. David is result clothing iRacing in 12th. Roger Morton, work guard by result in 13th. Charles Kellerman for optical in 14th. Ollie Ricks, Spyro by result. Andy Littler, work guard by result. And Dale Benison for Spyro by result, bringing up the back of the TCR field.
Excellent. So looks like we have a full parade lap, although it's not a particularly big lap, so it shouldn't take that long. For everybody at home, something to watch out for is the TCRs giving a nice big gap to the GT4 field, because if the GT4s come together, the TCRs don't want anything to do with it. So I put Yaz on the spot and asked him for a couple of winners. Is Wobbly gonna out Tyler, or is Tyler gonna out wobbly. I'm going to go with Tyler for GT4 win, and I'm going to go for Lucky Walker. You know. I think if somebody said, look, here's £100, stick it on a winner in TCR, I think to edge your bet, you've always got to go for Lucky Walker.
Yeah, it's very difficult to bet against him.
Yeah, although there are so many fast drivers. And we've not even mentioned Adam Wright, who's taken to the field tonight. Not seen him in this series for at least a season, probably two. And then I think he was in GT4. I could be wrong. He's out on track in the Hyundai in the TCR class.
Yeah, this TCR, these cars have become very popular this season. As you can imagine, 2 new cars added to the stable in iRacing, and both the TCR challenge as well as the one that we follow here, the Michelin Pilote, has been full. All the races have been very full this season so far. So these cars it's really great that they've added the 2 extra cars. I think it was getting a little stale with just the Audi for a while there.
Very full and a lot of carnage, I'm hearing.
That's always going to happen when especially in the beginning. When people are getting used to the cars and everybody wants to get in there. We have seen a few official races with 200, 300 cars in waiting to get into different splits. That is something we didn't really see last season or the season before. So
yeah,
the new cars have definitely brought the popularity back.
I think Sam nailed it on the head in the chat today. New cars, and you get idiots trying them, thinking they're gods on the road. Give it a few weeks, and it will be better. That's usually what we find, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. It will they will separate themselves. The guys who figure out how to drive these cars and the guys who then just stop enjoying it. It will it sort of balances itself out eventually, and we'll see some good racing again, like we become used to in this league. So but I'm just excited that this it's not just the single Audi racing around anymore. You can see these other cars as well.
Yeah, evening to Marco Lewert on the chat. Unfortunately, I'm already in Christmas mode and unable to drive today and in the next days. What do we take from that? German alcoholic, maybe?
Not good to drink and drive, Marco. You're doing the right thing.
Unless you're in the truck series, and then it's a great idea to drink and drive.
Talking about drinking and driving, Wobbly is trying to get the safety car to go a little bit faster. It's quite interesting that we see 4 McLarens in the field tonight. I mean,
yeah.
Was it Chris Needham is the only one in the Porsche?
Yes, it is. And I'm wondering if it was the success of the McLaren last year in the hands of Simon Trendle that has maybe swayed it a little bit. Not sure.
Yeah, I think they might have fixed that. Oh wait, they're going to go now. So let's hold that thought. Oh, Wobbly's gone.
Yeah.
Wobbly's gone. And they're all lined up quite nicely behind each other, but Wobbly's gone and seems to have caught Tyler a little bit napping there. But yeah, they through turn 1. Oh, here come the bees.
Here they come.
Already going too wide. Wide.
Gary Craig trying to break the toe already. Always a little bit dicey into turn 1 here, but looks clean to me.
Looks like everybody's gotten through.
Couple of the safeguard by result boys battling there. That'll be Carl Hardy and Martin Brennan.
Yeah, they need to get into a line. They going side by side is going to just cost them more than it's going to gain them. There we go. That's it. But now they're on the outside, and being on the inside is definitely going to be the.
Yeah,
Yeesh.
That looked a bit wide.
Yeah. Okay, they've come through.
Sort it
Everybody's got
out, yeah.
through the bus stop. It's Martin Brennan looking very feisty there. You know, battling it out there with who's that? David is.
That is, isn't it? Yes. David sticking to the Audi this season, which is good to see as well.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the devil, you know.
Yep.
You know, the guys drive it very well. They enjoy it, so you know, they don't see the need to change.
And it looks like Tyler switched to the McLaren very late. Looking at his paint, he's normally in the Porsche.
It's a good paint he's got there. Oh, there we go.
Hey, Jason Haddington. Is he going to get out ahead of those pesky TCRs? Oh, he might just... No, there's one past.
Oh.
Should be able to get back past now, yes. And hopefully with no further incidents, he'll be able to get a gap over those TCRs. Let's see what happens. Looks like it's all on his lonesome. Yeah, just over-rotated. It's very, very easy to do.
And yeah, it looks like everybody's sorted themselves out now. You see the TCRs all in a line. No one going for any bold moves into the bus stop there. You know, when I was watching last week's race, you know, we saw the top 5 just sort of having a clean little battle between them. No one doing anything silly. And I'm sure we're going to see the same happening again tonight. I mean, we've got Spencer McCarthy, Gary Craig, Stephen Walker, Sam Breeze, Michael Gray. These guys are super quick, you know, and we can almost say that, you know, it's almost like there are 2 tiers in this race, and that 5 are in a tier of their own, and then the rest and thereafter. So I have a feeling we're going to see them break away at the front there again and just you know, sort of work, almost like they will work together to go as quickly as they can.
Now, why is Pete Bingham number 14? He's usually 667, so he must have changed his number for a reason. Perhaps that's how many spins he has on average in a race. I will try and get to the bottom of that little conundrum.
Well, he's 667 in the entry list, so I don't know why he's 14.
You'll be pleased to know cake has been delivered. Yeah, the only way he could have done that would have been to change it in the iRacing League itself. Which is very interesting, because Pete has been 667 forever. And I think that may go back to our Factor 2 days when I was 666 and he was 667.
I think maybe if you're saying it's going back that far, maybe he's thinking changing the number might be a good omen for him. Because definitely keeping that number has not been, it hasn't really been a lucky charm in any way. So,
okay, I shall take that all back. It doesn't look like it was Pete. Looks like for some reason he didn't have a number set. So, interesting. So he'll be back to his normal number next week, no doubt. Okay, what we got here? We got Roger Morton in picture. It's gonna have a bit of. Is he gonna have a bit of over rotation?
There we go, the number 14 car.
There we go. So that's number 1, 13 to go.
Oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. Oh,
And cleans out a stablemate.
oh, that's Adam Wright, isn't it?
It certainly is, yes. Dear oh, lordy me. So, interesting this, that Wobbly has not pulled away. That's what we're used to seeing. Whether he's doing a touch of fuel saving and trying to out Tyler. 3 cars under a blanket up the front in GT4, 5 cars under a blanket up the front in TCR. And as Yaz pointed out earlier, up the front, they're all behaving themselves, trying to work out where they're better, where they're not, where they will need to defend and where they will need to attack in the later stages of the race.
Oh, are we seeing a move here?
No, I think Gary just got a better run around that hairpin. But there wasn't really anywhere to go. Right, meanwhile, I shall have a taste of, I think it's strawberry log or something like that.
Yeah, these 5 are going to go. You're going to see them attached all the way through. Yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens in the pit stop window. You know, we've changed up the fuel limits to try and make it a little bit more interesting. So it'll be nice to see what happens there, and if it splits the pack, or if it, you know, if the guys get it right, if it makes them change positions. But that's, you know, we only less than 10 minutes in. That's still another 20 minutes away.
Yeah, it looks like another fine coming Gary Craig's way, because he's still got his John Deere wheels on. Oh! That's Jason Haddington again, I believe.
Oh. Just can't catch a break.
Adam's staying well out of the way of that lead battle after being binghamed.
Looks like Wobbly's pulling away a little bit at the front now. Of the GT4
Just
field.
over a second, doesn't he?
Yeah, it looks like he's just putting a bit of a gap between himself and ooh,
Oh.
that's a different line through there. Yeah, so we spoke about that bus stop there and the new curbs that they put in there. It's possible to take that a whole lot tighter and a whole lot tighter than what you can before, but you really have to hold on to your steering wheel and onto your pants as you're going through there. As you saw those cars bouncing over those curbs and just hoping that nothing bad happens.
So Spencer McCarthy in the lead has got just under a second, which is the biggest gap we've seen in TCRs tonight.
Yeah, and Stephen Walker's gotten past Gary Craig there. So
yeah, that
that's
was all
probably
part of that bus stop incident, wasn't it?
yeah, and that's probably where that gap has come from now. So you can see the toe on that. How strong that toe is there that carries all the way up into the back of Stephen Walker. Oh, that's Gary going around again.
Gary taking was it Stephen Walker that took that line?
Gary
Or
going
was
over
it
the grass
Stan
there.
Belize, yeah. Oh, this battle has been going on since the start of the race, which was 13 minutes ago. It's David Ayres currently leading Martin Brennan with Roger Morton in the background. All under the Result stable, but running for different teams. There's Bashed Up Bingham. He's currently behind Ollie Ricks and looking to make a move. I was going to say it looks like Ollie's given that up easily, but he's not. He's fighting back. Well done. And Martine Versluwen getting up there behind Tyler. Ooh, Tyler overcooked that a bit. There's an apex there somewhere, mate. And good evening to the hardest working lorry driver in the world. I say that through gritted teeth, Mr. Aaron Gearing. Beats Honda, not looking very Honda-ish anymore. He will be frantically in the team chat asking people when is the earliest time I can pit to get this damage repaired. I think we will know when the TCR pit window is open, because Pete will be straight in. Martine looking very feisty on Tyler. It's just not long enough, that straight. certainly going to help Wobbly out. These two battle closely or even get side by side. Anyone that can see the chat, just have a look at Marco Lewert's spelling of Macca, and you will see I was correct. German alcoholic.
Yep. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and type.
Brennan looking feisty, isn't he? Looks like he's took to that Hyundai a bit better than he did the Audi.
Yeah, you know, there's talk of you know, each of these cars having their own set of attributes. You know, saying that the Audi's top end speed is still better than the rest, and then the Hyundai handles a whole lot better, and something else about the Honda. But you know, it's just about these guys need to balance it out, and they need to find where they're comfortable. And it looks like Martin's found his comfort in that Hyundai.
Yeah, Marco Lewert said he's had too much. Now, to me, that says glue wine. I have no idea what that is. Wine made from glue, maybe? I don't know. Weird bunch of Germans sometimes, especially with alcohol. So they've dragged Spencer McCarthy back towards them. Lucky Walker in the middle there, wearing the 01. That means he was last season's TCR champion.
That he was. I think it was, he won all but one race last season. And yeah, we've seen the standards of the drivers improve towards the end of last season. And we've seen a couple of new entries this season that could give him a run for his money. So I think it's going to be a tighter battle in the TCRs with that top 5 all looking very, very quick.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Marco Lewert is also drinking Speculatius. That doesn't sound like alcohol. It sounds like a medical procedure.
Hot red wine.
And glue wine sounds very much like what we call mulled wine. So that gap in GT4 has gone out to 2 seconds now. And apparently Marco's medical procedure are cookies. Sounds like one of those things when you go to the doctors and he says he's got to give you an examination and then takes his rings off and puts them gloves on. So, possible charge for Martin coming up as they start to find the rear end of the TCR field. Sometimes a bit of lapped... Oh, he's already done it! He's already done it. Where did that happen? Mistake from Tyler, maybe? Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the. Yeah, that's one of the
gas,
tricky
didn't
ones
he?
there. Yeah, that's one of the tricky ones here. They just you just run out of road there. towards the end of that, and you're just trying to go as fast as you can. As you're coming up to that, you're sort of in second gear, taking that corner, and you just want to push the throttle as quickly as you can. You want to get flat there, and that hole just comes towards you, and that little bit of grass that is nicked there is going to slow you down.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see now whether Martin can drop Tyler. Was Tyler slowing him down, or can Tyler take advantage of lapped cars to get back past? But that gap has gone out to 3.5 seconds now. So, what has Gary Craig got in the locker? He saw Spencer McCarthy, didn't he, pip him pole? He said Stephen Walker get past him on track in the race. Is anybody going to make a mistake in the pit stop? Our driver's going to take tyres. I would guess from last week the answer will be yes, because they certainly made a difference last week.
Yeah, I think in the TCRs, it's a little bit of a no-brainer to take tires. The amount of fuel they're taking on, it just costs you a little bit of time, and like you say, it makes a big difference. The new tires make a big difference to trying to keep going on the same old tires. So, you'll make that time up definitely with pace. The time that is lost in that pit stop.
Yeah, well, last season they had 50% fuel tank. There was a big discussion before the start of this season. The drivers wanted 40%, so they spoke, we listened, so they're all limited to 40%. So we've got a big announcement to make as well on BSTV, and any MX5 drivers watching may be interested in this. In January we will be doing our first ever MX5 league. I think everything is probably up on the website now. We will be officially announcing it on Discord, iRacing and Facebook tomorrow. And it has to be done tomorrow, because after that I will be blindingly drunk. So it's literally going to be on a Friday evening. It's going to be every other week. It's going to be 2 30-minute races per meeting, and we are only using the British tracks. So we've got 24 races coming up. We've got 12 actual race meetings. We've got 6 British tracks. So we will use a different layout on the British tracks every time we go there. Could be a lot of fun, could be a disaster, and unless we try, we don't know. And providing we get some half decent sized fields and more importantly half decent drivers, the plan will then be to also add the MX-5 into season 8 of this series. So another new thing coming up on BSTV.
Yeah, if you think this TCR field is there's always some good racing and some tight racing, the MX-5 is is likely to be even closer racing. It's it's a little bit slower, but it's a lot of fun. It's one of those cars that are easier to drive. Let's call it that. From the rookie stages, but it can be a lot of fun and a lot of close racing in there. The car can withstand quite a bit. So you'll get a bit of argy-bargy and all these kind of things, but I think that's going to be really one to get involved in.
Yeah, the latest version of the MX-5, the what do they call it? Global MX-5 Cup, I believe. Gary Craig coming in the pits. I've done a few races in that, and it's a cracking little car. It's a momentum car. It's literally, it sounds daft because it's racing, but it's how much speed can you carry out of the corner, and how much speed can you carry into the corner, and how much speed can you go round the corner with. It really is. And one little slip up, we've seen Gary take tyres, it can really ruin your race. So yeah, I'm expecting some really close battles, and hopefully a good class of driver as well, which will mean it will slot into this series very nicely. But like I say, in the meantime, they've got their own series starting in January. Sam has put the link in the chat. Like I say, I will be advertising it everywhere tomorrow. But all of our viewers, you get the sneak preview tonight. So, Yaz, coming up on halfway, and we've seen Gary Craig hit pit lane. To me, it's one of two things. It's either he knew he wasn't going anywhere where he was, so tried to get out of that little battle and try and get some clear track and make some time up, or goes back to my favourite saying, do something different, knowing that most people will probably run it dry. He's tried something different. Has he done testing? Is there a big undercut on this track? We just don't know.
Yeah, I think it's down to that second one of the second option there that you've put there. Do something different. I think what is someone else is coming in. That's Sam Blees.
Sam Blees, yeah.
It's about doing something different. I think he will. Where it might cost him is that he's completely out of the tow of that train that they were in. So he might be a little bit slower there. But then again, he's out in the open, so. He can drive his own pace rather than keeping to the pace of the train. So hopefully he can make up some time while he's going around on his own, and hopefully he isn't held up by any traffic. It doesn't look like he's anywhere.
Martin gonna. Oh,
he's going slowly.
Is there a slowdown there?
Well, what's that about?
Or is he out of fuel?
Can it be? Have I jinxed him a second time?
That is fuel to me.
That's a miscalculation there from Martin. If it is a fuel, issue. He's in the pits there now, but he's obviously dropped a lot of time there with that little mistake.
Yeah, Marco Lewert has just informed us that the doctor has got his rings off and got his gloves on, so he's got to go. And Sir Alan Toon says the MX-5 is easy to drive, hard to drive fast. Now I expect Sir Alan Toon to be one of the first ones to sign up to our new series, because he's got no excuse, because he's used to driving the MX-5. And for those of you that don't know Sir Alan, he is about 148, I think, now. But still races, still enjoys it, and a cracking fella.
Right, so here's where we're going to have to watch Gary Craig and Sam Blees.
Yes. Where are they? Did they come out right together? No, they didn't, did they?
Well, they're not too far apart.
No, I think there might be a couple of seconds between them.
Gary Craig and Sam Blees, yeah, about 2 seconds between them there.
Yeah.
You can see that one there. They're coming around that corner. Let's see what happens with these other pit stops. It looks like Gary may have the jump on these other TCRs.
You're right. I think that undercut is massive.
Sam Blees as well is going to be able to yeah, they're coming now. But yeah, it looks like he's got that covered. And these these three are coming out again side by side. Okay, they sorted themselves out.
Sam and Spencer looked like it was going to be close. I don't quite. Yeah, it is.
But look at that. Gary Craig has jumped everybody with that early pit stop.
Yeah, and he's got almost a couple of seconds.
Yeah. Shane Powell's leading the TCR field, but obviously that's because he hasn't stopped yet. What's happening at the front? Wobbly Kneecaps has got a... What's it? Tyler in the pits.
Tyler taking his pit stop, yeah. Wobbly's not been in yet. Oh, yes, he has.
Hasn't he? Yes, he was a lap before that.
Sorry, yeah.
Let's have a look at the pit stop times. Gary Craig's pit time was quicker than the rest.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Significantly quicker than a few of the guys there. 4 seconds of Stephen Walker, 4 seconds on 3.5 seconds on Spencer McCarthy, 1 second on Sam Blees. So yeah, he's definitely played that out. He's definitely made the best of that pit stop window and that pit stop. I mean, he's got a little bit of a gap between himself now and Sam Blees. Is that gap closing? But definitely from the rest of the pack, there's a big gap between them now.
Yeah, Shane Powell is in now, out of the lead. Sorry, I got a bit distracted there. Message from Marco's doctor. He's got to go in deeper, so he's now took his watch off. Oh, Martin, what has happened? You have been yazzed, well and truly.
That's 2 weeks in a row now. What's happened there? Past stop coming up. Oh, too tight.
We took that. Yeah, there was a lot of speed going in there and a big accident.
Yeah, there was a lot of speed and just a little bit too tight on that. Looks like that wheel stuck. You just cut that corner too much there, and that.
Yeah, that rear wheel and the front wheel, they're not looking good.
Not going anywhere. I apologize once again, Martin, for jinxing you on that one.
Can you not pick Wobbly?
I picked Wobbly for the same reason, but it's hoping that would happen. It doesn't look like it worked.
This is now Martin Brennan and Roger Morton battling. looks like David Ayres has got himself a couple of seconds up the road after the pit stops.
If Gary wins today, and that's gonna jinx it, I know, but anyway, can you imagine what Stacy will feel next week when she will be back?
Oh God. Yeah, Stacey back next week. That means Gary will never win again, so he needs to get one in this week. Anybody that's been missing Stacey, obviously stripping is very busy this time of year, so what's happened? Who is Wobbly shouting at? Who is in front of Wobbly?
Nobody?
Nobody. He's now singing, so there's something weird going on with Wobbly. I think it's the drugs.
Don't even have his face cam, so I cannot tell.
Yeah.
Well, it's for the best for everybody, but still.
Oh yeah, I was about to say it's probably better that you don't.
Yeah, he's probably gone stir crazy with the Dutch being in lockdown again. So Dale Benison in the pits. I think he is the last one to pit. So I can't repeat what was said on the driver chat there, but
I concur.
Wobbly is obviously coming up behind Carl Hardy.
Wobbly's got a big gap on Tyler at the moment, so he's just taking his time getting through what TCR traffic there is. And I think what's it, a 10-second gap at the moment, 11 seconds, which is quite a big one. Said no one ever about Wobbly, but yeah, he's looking comfortable in the lead there.
I think somebody said it about his nose once. And obviously, Jason Haddington had an issue or a couple of issues near the start. We've seen Martine, we think, run out of fuel and then have an accident. And lo and behold, Chris Needham has snuck his way up onto the podium again.
There's a saying in golf where they say, it's not how you drive, it's how you finish, and that's what Chris Needham is doing, driving and finishing well. So you don't need to be the quickest guys. You just need to try and be consistent and keep it out. Keep it out of the walls. Drive comfortable at your pace, and results can still come your way.
Yeah, and just looking at the timing screen, it's only a little bit. It's only half a second so far, but Spencer McCarthy and I believe Sam Blease are working together to track down Gary Craig.
Slowly, be patient, Sunny boy.
Yeah, well done there, Jason. That, you can, believe it or not, go through the bus stop too wide, but it takes a lot of commitment and it takes a lot of give and take from both drivers. So most of the time, you're better off going, nah, do you know what? Let's not do this.
Yeah, Jason Addington now, stuck behind these. That is Jason Addington?
That is, yes.
Yeah. These TCRs are the lead TCR, so he doesn't want to cause any trouble for them trying to get through here.
No, that's right. I think that's Michael Gray that he just went past.
And that's
Lucky
Stephen
Walker in it in front. But yeah, he can afford. He's not really in a position battle, so he can afford to take his time, do it safely, do it in the right places.
He's just got to be patient here. Just wait it out now to the long straight and take that pass on the straight if you can. Not here or not before then.
Yeah, get up close here through the S's, and like you say, do it down the straight. There's enough overspeed in the GT4 to get it done before the bus stop.
Yep.
Round the outside there.
Yeah, and
should be done and dusted.
Stuck in behind him there, and yeah.
Looked on the edge, didn't it, for Michael's onboard view?
Spencer's closed that gap down
It's done. He's done him. What's happened?
What's happened there?
Who's 2:11? Oh, yeah, of course it is. But yeah, like you say, that gap is now nothing. But there's still a big gap to Sam Blease, so...
I'm not sure what happened there with Andy Littler. I don't know if he did a good impression of Sergio Perez there in slowing Gary down.
Well, Spencer's last lap was nearly a second quicker than Gary's.
Yeah. I said this about Spencer last season. That he is extremely quick. He's up there when it comes to pace. He's just struggled to put an hour race together at times. He has come away with a victory or two last season. But yeah, his pace is up there with the best of them. It's just a matter of him keeping it together for a full hour and keeping it clean. He had a few incidents, in last season when he was up front there. So now he's definitely all over the back of Gary here now. And when he decides to make the move, he just needs to be patient and focus on getting it done cleanly. He's right there, He's right there now, and he might just want to make the move into the bus stop.
The GT4 leader, Wobbly Kneecaps, is coming up on this battle as well, just to throw another spanner in the works.
Yeah, Jason Addington's also on the back here, and he's going to want to get past, without causing them any trouble. But he's going to have some extra speed, and he's going to be in the mirrors of Spencer McCarthy now as well while they're doing this battle. So yes, this is going to be one to watch here.
I think the overspeed on that McLaren, if Jason is sensible, he can probably get both of them down that back straight. That's what was that? That was Pete Adam Killer Bingham, wasn't it?
What's happened to Carl Hardy? Why is it showing as out?
I've still got him running.
Disconnect? Oh, it's unlucky.
Well, he
Yeah,
hasn't
Carl-
shown as disconnected yet.
No, but he's dropping down the order, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks like some kind of issue with internet somehow.
So Lucky Walker is all over the back of Sam Blease. This is really where Jason Haddington wants to get it done. He's just going to hope that Spencer McCarthy doesn't turn left.
Ooh.
Spencer McCarthy's taken to the grass to get past. I think he's going to get it done.
Jason Haddington needs to pull out of needs to pull away very quickly because he doesn't want these guys in his mirrors any more than what they want to be behind him. So he's got to put his foot down now and just get a gap between himself and these TCRs who are fighting. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, he's got a couple of little straights coming up now.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, we will be sensible here and make the pass where he doesn't disturb the two of them.
Wobbly and sensible should never be used in the same sentence.
That was a good pass.
Yeah, Spencer had to tuck in there, didn't he? Stephen Walker putting a move on Sam Blease. Michael Gray wants to follow him through. Sam is fighting back. Good battle this.
Who's going where? And Stephen Walker on
Game
the
on
inside.
now. They're in the DRS zone.
Yeah, it looks like Steven's got that and he's on the inside, so he should be able to make that. Yeah. And Sam Blease looks under pressure from Michael Gray as well. If he can just get it together for a couple of corners and just settle in again. Usually if someone passes you in an uncomfortable position there and you need to come off the gas, it really puts you in a vulnerable position for the next car that's coming behind, that like we saw there, but he's now settled in again and he can pick up the pace.
Yeah, just over 10 minutes to go. Yeah, Carl Hardy has confirmed it was an internet issue. Probably too many pies in the wire. Right, Brennan back up with David Ayres. Gary Craig putting Spencer McCarthy under all sorts of pressure. This is the battle for the third step of the podium.
Yeah, these three are, yeah, they've been battling hard. I think it's cost them a little bit of time to the front two. Gary and Spencer have put a little bit of daylight between themselves and this battle. And yeah, it's going to be a fight till the end. I mean, we're only looking at 9 minutes left in this race. Stephen Walker, you should have the pace on the other two.
Yeah, you would think so, but he's got two very, very good drivers behind him. We know what Sam Blease can do. Michael Gray was quick last week, and as I've said before, I don't know what series it was. I don't know if it was one of ours, whether it was one that I just watched, or whether the one that I took part in, but I have seen Michael Gray. Whoa!
Ooh.
Like to see that again. Yeah, I've seen Michael Gray before, and he's a bloody good driver.
Was that Tyler?
That was Tyler. Looks like...
That was...
I'd have to see that in slow-mo to see who closed on who.
It's just a unfortunate series of events there. I mean, yeah, we'll need to watch it again to see exactly who went across and who was.
Yeah,
what it meant to be.
Spencer gave Tyler the room, didn't he, on the straight? But first glance in real time, I think he may have just slightly closed that door.
Yeah, that was a strange one, but that is now seen. Yeah, it's it looks like it's seen the end of Tyler there, and that's really unfortunate for Tyler.
So, Chris Needham up to second. Right, overhead.
Coming across there.
It looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah. Like I say, the overhead shot in slow-mo would.
Yeah, he's given him the room to come through there. I don't know if he's, what, he was sort of on the inside there and was just drifting towards the outside line, like there was no other car there. So yeah, that's a tough one on Tyler to have lost out there. And yeah, like you say, Chris Needham, and now Jason Haddington, who has kept on going, is now also going to be promoted up to the podium.
It's I'm not blaming Spencer there, because that is so easy to do. You're going into a corner shallower than you normally do, and you're just trying to eke every last inch you can to open that corner up, and unfortunately Tyler was there.
Yeah, it is a bit of a strange one. I mean, he's given him the room to come to. At least it looks like he's giving him the room. He wasn't taking the normal line. He sort of had him. He gave himself the inside line to whether, I don't know if it was a defensive move or whether he was trying to give Tyler away there. And then when Tyler actually came by, he just sort of drifted across, and it's really unfortunate again.
And it's cost Tyler a almost nailed on second step of the podium, but more importantly, it could cost Spencer McCarthy the win.
Yeah, well, Gary's gone very wide there, but okay, he's kept his position. He just needs to clean up here.
4 minutes left.
4 minutes. what's that? 4 minutes
This
is
lap and another 3, 2. I suppose it depends on when Wobbly crosses the line. Wobbly's going to cross the line.
yeah, he just has.
No,
So
yeah. So yeah, I think they
you look
might
about
get
2 laps, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And if it does go another 3, I have a feeling some people might be quite tight on fuel.
Yeah, you could be right. We'll have to keep an eye on Wobbly and where he is on track as that time winds down.
Yeah. I think Wobbly. We mentioned earlier Gary had a very short stop. I think Wobbly may need to slow down, or actually, is it slow down? To make sure they only do 2 laps. So that Gary
he's done him. He made that look easy. Oh, did you see the back of Gary's car there? It was like a pogo stick.
Yeah, that's the Civic. We spoke about it a little bit earlier. It's just so bouncy over the bus stop chicane if you take it too tight.
I was literally about to say that Gary is defending the grass, so that Spencer doesn't overtake him on the grass again, and Spencer went all the way round the other way. Oh, nudgy, nudgy. So Sam Blease gets past Stephen Walker. Looking good for Geodesic at the moment, first and third. Wobbly crosses the line now, so yes, I think there's going to be 2 laps after this one for the TCRs.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be another lap, but they wouldn't have taken the white flag yet. And yeah, we're going to have to watch out for who's running what fuel levels here. And if anybody is... Stephen Walker making a move. Looking up the inside.
Yeah, just check the BSTV email, and Sir Alan Toon hasn't signed up for the MX5 yet. What's going on? Probably too engrossed in this race. This is where I feel for Chris Needham. I thought, I need to look at that again, obviously, but I thought Michael Gray bounced over the curb.
So good full 360 that he's done there to face forwards after that.
There's nothing there, and I think he bounces here. No, I think Stephen got him before the bounce happened.
Yeah, Stephen went in very tight there for with a car on the inside.
Again, for me, no malice, but just that couple of inches. And we all know how much a couple of inches is important, but
but I mean, we said it at the beginning of the broadcast. You mentioned it, Clyde, that this is one of those tracks where if you're going to make a pass, it's always a risk you got to take. There's no easy pass here. There's no.
That's right. Yeah.
And we spoke about it in the bus stop. Even though you might have that, the slipstream, you still have to. It's just not long enough for you to make an easy pass. And there it showed.
Yeah, and as we watch Wobbly on the final lap, just to echo what you say there, Yaz, and what we said at the start, this is one of those tracks where sometimes it gets very messy. Wobbly's flashing his lights already. We've seen him do that before and lose the race. But credit to these drivers out here today. They have been as clean as they possibly can, and it's been another fantastic race. But I don't think it's over yet.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Gary's running he was running light on fuel, and that's why that gap is opening up between himself and Spencer now.
Yeah, like you say, we got that extra lap, didn't we? So
yeah, I don't think he was.
And there you go.
Coming in. Yeah, I think that extra lap. If you looked at the timing of when Wobbly crossed the line, it was just about on the edge of doing the extra lap, and I think some guys may have gambled on there being a lap short or a lap less, not a lap short, a lap less.
So Wobbly about to come home and take the win in GT4.
Yeah, that's two for Wobbly on the trot. Chris Needham, another podium, the second place this time.
Yeah, and Jason Haddington, a podium as well in third.
Yep.
What's going on with the pesky TCRs? This little battle isn't over yet. Spencer McCarthy is going to take the win. Gary Craig in second. And will it be Sam Blease? It will. Takes third.
Yep. And Stephen Walker in fourth. Michael Gray is going to come across the line 9th, 5th. You saw them have a little bit of an incident there.
Ooh, get me breath back.
Right then, yep, number 14, Pete Bingham crossing the line there. Just waiting for a few more cars to come across there. Just waiting for the last few TCRs to come across the line here now, and that's Charles Kellerman going across the line, Ollie Ricks, and we're just waiting for Roger Morton. Where is he? On track? Is he still on track?
What's in the pits, weren't he?
Here he comes. Yep, and then he'll be the last driver over the line there. And the results should come up soon. Well, we can see it already.
I'll let you do the results, Yaz, because I'm going to update the scores.
Okay, so in the GT4s, as we saw Weibo Niekamp running away at the front for BSTV eSport Pink. Chris Needham scoring a second place there, due to an incident with Tyler. But Chris Needham finishing in second. A good second for RWC Racing Black. Jason Haddington in third, 3 on the podium in the GT4s. Also RWC Racing Black. Tyler Newitt unfortunately came together with one of the TCRs coming in fourth, and then Martin Versluwen had a bit of an incident. First ran out of fuel and then hit the wall very hard at the bus stop, coming in fifth. In the TCRs, we saw a very good race at the front. Spencer McCarthy finishing off victor there. Alpine Stars, Geodesic Racing. Gary Craig put up a good fight for BSTV eSport Green. A very good pit strategy there. Just nipped at the line towards the end. Sam Blease for Alpine, Geodesic Racing finishing in third. Stephen Lucky Walker in fourth for Spectre 6 Purple. Michael Gray, XVR Sim Racing in fifth. That was a battle at the front in the top 5. Best of the rest was Matt Almo in 6th place for Spectre 6. Shane Powell, Spectre 6 Purple in 7th. David Ayres, result, clothing, iRacing team in 8th. Martin Brennan, safeguard by result in 9th. Pete Bingham, BSTV Esport green in 10th. Charles Kellerman, optical, he finished 11th. Ollie Ricks, 12th for Spyro by result. Roger Morton, 13th, work hard by result. In 14th place, Adam Wright, BSTV Esport orange. Andy Littler in 15th for work hard by result. Dale Pennison in 16th for Spyro by result. And then Carl Hardy, something happened there with his connection, finishing in 17th for safeguard by result.
Excellent. Right, let's get these interviews underway, and I'll let you start them off, Yaz, and you can have our GT4 winner, Wobbly Kneecaps.
Hello.
Wobbly Kneecaps, another win. That's 2 in a row. Another good victory. Well done. How did talk us through that one from your view?
Yeah, well, I knew I had to pace. I was debating. I just bought a few hour set, and I was debating if I would use it already. But it was like a couple of tenths slower. But so I ended up using the screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like what, six of a tenth quicker on quali, and I knew I had to pace. So basically, I started fuel saving a bit, trying to help Tyler not getting killed by Valentine.
Yep.
And once I saw that they were gonna battle, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna break the toe and drive away for a bit and just fuel save and do my thing. So like singing and stuff like that.
Yeah, we heard you singing for a while there, and yeah, you did put quite a bit of a gap between yourself and Tyler, who was in second place at the time. So you did show the pace. A bit lonely out front. You know,
I told the guys. Yeah, I told the guys. I was like, I now finally understand how Hamilton feels. You know, after all the seasons. No, but now to be fair, I mean, I'm sure that the other guys will get back up the pace. I think I was just lucky. I don't really particularly like Watkins Glen, but I am fast at it, and I like Road America. I'm fast at it as well. So I don't know what's next week. This track is, but it's definitely gonna be guys quicker than me on the other tracks. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, we've seen a good battle over the last few seasons where everybody comes up and you crash into the wall and they can make up that time.
Dick.
So yeah, so next week, what do we have next week? We've got Red Bull Ring. You've been around there a bit?
Yeah, I crashed into the pit exit.
Okay, well,
And then
I'm
got
sure
taken out by Marco.
yeah, I'm sure the other guys will hope for that to happen again. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you next week. Is there any shout outs you want to give this?
To the guys in the chat, I mean in Discord, Tyler for being unlucky with Spencer. I didn't see the incident, but I heard it was kind of unlucky. You guys for setting up the broadcast and commentating on it. Sam for doing the cameras, and Clyde for Clyde Dios, Whitingnos.
It's Spanish. You wouldn't understand.
You heard my Spanish pronouncement like Sunday. So.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good. Another good win. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, cool, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Right, that's enough of him. Right, let's bring in our TCR winner, Spencer McCarthy. Welcome to the booth.
Hello. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, so 2 on the trot. The record is 11 wins in 12 races. It's on.
Let's not do that. Well, I mean, I'm sure there'll be some missed weeks for me, so let's not. I nearly missed tonight, to be honest, because I had to go for my COVID booster jab. Yeah, I was waiting in the queue going, oh, this isn't going very fast. I'm not going to get back in time.
Yeah. Let's talk about the race. So, yet again, an absolutely fantastic battle up the front in TCRs. Well, to be fair, there was fantastic battles all the way through the field. We thought Gary Craig had done a number on you with his early stop, but it's I don't know what happened. I will ask Gary unless you know the answer to it. You was reeling him in slowly from about just over 2 seconds to a second and a half, and then bang, you was right on the back of him.
Yeah, I mean, what we found with especially in Road America as well, when you put only front tyres on these cars, they just feel awful for about 2 laps. And like, you'll come out, and Gary was obviously up to speed, as was Sam. So I came out and thought, right, well, I let sort of, didn't fight Sam straight away, obviously, as I left the pits, and settled into the car, because you've just got to be so careful with the rear end. But then once it hooked up, and obviously earlier on in the race, I didn't have any draft. I was leading. And obviously, I then had Sam's draft, which then catapulted me past him. And then I think I'm starting to work out you probably get a little bit of draft from about 1.6 seconds. So, yeah, I think Gary had a couple of maybe had a wide moment, or obviously saw me coming, and maybe the pressure sort of hit. So then, yeah, I think I might have grabbed an extra second on one particular lap. But yeah, I nailed the fastest lap when I was catching him. I must admit, did a 54.4 or something. No, what am I talking about?
I was going to say, if you did a 54.4, mate, you'd be world champion. I got you down as a 57.4.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at my laps, but I don't know why I've got 54s and 53s in there. That is really odd. Maybe that's a bug in iRacing.
Perhaps that's how you won. Perhaps you was in a GT4 that looked like a TCR.
No, I'm looking at the wrong person. That's why.
Yeah. Your name is Spencer.
Yeah, my name's Spencer. That's right. I can't remember now. Yeah, 57.4. That's right. So that was when I was catching him. So I thought, I obviously nailed that on that particular lap and got a good jump on him. But I mean, he did a blinding strategy there. I just thought I'd go as long as I could, just to have as much tyres as I could at the end. And obviously, he got that jump and leapfrogged us. It was good.
Yeah, and you had to pass him twice. Obviously, we see one pass with a couple of wheels on the grass. Then that little incident with Tyler. I don't know whether you've looked at it yet.
Yeah,
to me, it does look like you did creep back across, but that's a racing incident all day for me. And then the second time you passed him, because you passed him sort of on the grass the first time, I was about to say on the broadcast that Gary needs to defend the grass, which he did, and then you went round the other side of him. So, yeah, nothing Gary could do there.
No, it was... that's the only real place to overtake around here, is up the run up there. And in these cars, the draft is massive coming up that hill, so you just get a big overspeed. The incident with Tyler, I was just talking to Tyler. I mean, I'm massively apologetic for it. I wasn't, obviously the contact, I've had a quick look at it. There was enough width on the outside for a car. I think the side-by-side contact was a bit unfortunate. Should I have blocked into there or not? I mean, I had Wobbly come past a few laps before and nearly run me off the track.
He does
1X.
that. Yeah,
and I just thought I'd just protect the tarmac I've got. I thought Tyler was going to send it, and I just went, you know what, I don't want to have any contact, but then obviously it ended up with some anyway, which is unfortunate. I didn't, obviously completely unfortunate. I didn't want that to happen to Tyler at all.
Yeah, like I say, from in my view anyway, it was just unfortunate. That sort of thing happens, doesn't it? But
it does, yeah.
Ultimately, it nearly cost you a race win,
Yeah,
but you got past Gary. So 2 on the trot. Any shout outs you want to give?
Just to you guys, the NHS for giving me a jab tonight, and just on to the next week. Looking forward to it.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again, and we'll see you next time out.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, Yaz, you're getting this one because he's going to be a bit moany. It's Tyler Newitt.
Tyler Newitt. How do we talk about that one? You were well in place for a podium finish, but then some unfortunate things happened.
I mean, it was a little generous to say I was. I mean, yes, I had second place pretty well locked up, but I was just nowhere near Wobbly's pace. He's kind of stepped it up to another level this season, and I don't know what it's going to take to beat him. Especially Watkins Glen is one of the tracks I normally go pretty well at. So,
tell him the BMW's really good.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he'd managed to win in that too. He's been in these GT4s long enough now that there's no weak spots left. He doesn't still need to figure out the tire management or the fuel saving or the how to drive any particular track. He's just quick.
Yeah, he was quite quick this evening. I mean, the gap that he pulled away and then just managed that gap for most of the race. He was just a little bit faster than everyone else. I have to ask you, what happened into turn one?
Yeah, I talked with Spencer a little bit in the waiting room, but it was just. The contact itself was whatever. He just drifted a little left, and I drifted a little right, maybe, I don't know, and I got the worst of it. But the part I took issue with was Spencer moving to the middle of the track in the first place, because I just thought it was a bit silly to compromise his line like that when he could have, gave a little lift and let me through, and we both would have continued on our merry way, and he would have had my toe up through the S's, so he might have been able to stay in front of Gary at that point anyway. It was disappointing, but it just kind of felt like, Spencer hasn't been racing in this league as long as some of the guys, and I think there's kind of an understanding between most of the guys in the league that, the vast majority of the guys racing here are not going to try anything, stupid, save for wobbly. So there's no reason to get in that kind of ultra defensive mindset, especially with multi-class traffic. And there's just no reason to be, throwing blocks on GT4 cars coming through. I'm not going to, run him off into the wall to secure a win for Gary. That's not how we play. So, trust comes with time, and hopefully Spencer figures out that we're pretty easygoing guys, and we're not going to make stupid moves that need blocking from, and we'll move on.
Yep. Well, talking about moving on, next week we go to Red Bull Ring. Will we see you out there next week?
No, I'm going home for the holidays, so I will not be here.
You will not be there for Red Bull Ring. Well, we will miss you. Wobbly will miss you pushing him, or at least trying to.
Yeah.
He probably won't. But we will miss you on track next week. And before you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank before you do leave?
Shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast as always, and everybody who races in the league, and for turning up. Everybody in our chat. It was a smaller group today, just me and Wobbly, Gary, Pete, and Adam turned up for the first time, which was good. And
got killed by Pete.
Well, yeah, he says he would have won, and he says he would have won if it hadn't have been for Pete. But
to be honest,
we'll never know.
We've all been killed by Pete, so
it's a
welcome
rite
to the
of
club,
passage.
Adam.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks to everybody.
Well, have a good Christmas, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you. See you guys as well.
Yes.
Okay, next up, let's bring in our resident TCR bridesmaid, Mr. Gary Craig.
Good evening.
Good evening. So, Gary, again, right up there, right on the pace, but just pipped at the final hurdle.
Yeah, we've done plenty of practice and plenty of officials this week, and I knew going into this that Spencer was quicker and I was probably second fastest, and it's how it played out. But the way that the race was going there, we were definitely just running that pack, and I knew that I was going to pit at the earliest opportunity to try and get that jump, get that undercut, which worked. But yeah, Spencer was still quick enough to bridge those that half second he was back from when you were past Sam. And as soon as he did, the two of us we made a gap, but he just had better tyres at the end, to be honest. He had a bit better pace.
Yeah, did something happen? Because I think we was focused on something else, and I was watching the timing screen, and you at one point you was about I think 2.3 seconds ahead, and then I looked up about 4 or 5 laps later, and it was down to 1.5, and I said on the broadcast that Spencer was reeling him in slowly. and then I looked up again on the next lap, and he was right on your rear bumper. Was,
Oh, yeah, that's
was there
just
a
this car.
was there a
That's just this car.
mistake or just toe? Was it?
No, this car, the tow is 2 seconds. So as soon as somebody gets within that 2 seconds, that's it, you're done. And Spencer was like coming up quick. He had obviously just come out the pits when he got past Sam. He had good pace, and it took him a couple of laps to get into that draft. But as soon as you get in within 2 seconds, that's it. The next lap, 2 laps time, you're together again. You can't escape that 2 second gap around here.
Then I don't know whether this annoyed you, but he done you twice. At the same spot in the track, but once up the inside and once round the outside.
Oh no! Like into the bus stop, I just eased off because I don't want to be going in there side by side, and I also kind of wanted to be behind going into the last lap. But as it turns out, I didn't have the tyres at the end, so yeah, no, that's just 100% easing up so that we don't go through there side by side.
Okay, well, thanks for your honest view on the race, as usual. We've still got a few to get through, so any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to you guys, the broadcasters ever, and the guys who are racing with there. It's been fantastic. We've had some great races. 2 races so far, they've been really good, so looking forward to the rest of the season. So yeah, thanks to the guys who's racing to use as well.
Excellent. Well, have a wonderful Christmas, and hopefully we'll see you next time out.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Okay, next up for you, Yaz, is our 3rd place TCR driver, Mr. Sam Blees.
Hello.
Sam, please, podium for you, 3rd place finish in what was quite a battle for an hour there. I'm sure you, even though it's cold in where you are, you sweating buckets?
I am, yeah, absolutely. Sweating buckets and feeling pretty lucky.
Yeah. You feeling lucky from Stephen Walker there? I mean, that's usually Stephen Walker's domain, feeling lucky. But yeah, from your point of view, how did you find that? How did that hour go for you?
I mean, it was stressful. It was hard work. I didn't have the pace that I had last week, so I couldn't keep. I in clean air, I was nowhere. I was dropping back quite quickly from Spencer and Gary and Stephen as well. So I needed the draft, I needed the tow, and then I was okay. And yeah, I think on pace I was probably 4th or 5th, and I got very lucky to finish 3rd.
Well, luck or not, you've made it onto the podium and finished 3rd.
Yeah.
And that's that is the work that you put in that gets you there. Be it luck or whatever you want to put it down to. Next week we've got Red Bull Ring. Do you see yourself pushing the front guys again?
Hopefully, yeah, hopefully. I like Red Bull. I haven't driven it for a season or 2, but I was fairly quick there last time. I did. I've not driven the national circuit, but yeah, it should be good fun. It'll be another draft fest, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that a lot more than I look forward to this one. So that'll be good.
Yeah, well, we hope you can put in some more performances like that and score more podiums this season. In that battle up front. Before you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to or thank yous to?
Yeah, I mean, just thanks to the guys at the front, Gary, Spencer, Stephen, and his name's completely escaped me. Michael. Thank you very much for good, clean racing. It was really good, really clean, really fair. And yeah, unlucky to Stephen. I think he definitely had the pace for 3rd today, but I'll take it. I'm not going to complain.
You shouldn't. Yeah. Well done again, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks very much. Cheers, guys. Thank you for hosting him.
Okay, so last but not least, let's bring in Stephen Lucky Walker. Welcome to the booth.
Hey guys.
So, you are in the middle of your longest winless streak. that's 2 races on the trot. You haven't won. Must be time to throw all your equipment away and buy some new stuff, surely.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think that win streak will be winless streak. Sorry, will be extended. I think for the rest of the season, I I need to learn this car a bit more.
Yeah, although to be fair, you know, a lot of the well, especially last season, I know you told us every week that you was lucky, but you don't win 11 out of 12 races by being lucky. You were over an hour head and shoulders above everybody else. First half of the race, yes, they were a bit closer. Now, this season, there's some absolutely fantastic talent in that TCR field. A lot of the drivers have upped their games, and then throw into the mix 2 new cars that handle totally differently to what the old Audi did. You know, I know you haven't won a race yet, but I know it will come. But for the series itself, that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sure the races are really good. Well, I watched last week's and it was brilliant to watch back, and just being in this one this week was full of drama. I feel like I think I said last week, I don't like Watkins Glen. I'm not very good at it. So my aim, literally, after doing any form of practice, was just 5th, because I was way off the pace, shredding my tyres. And I feel like I'd managed to get the pace to possibly finish 3rd, really. I think if I'd played it a bit smarter, I might have been able to pick a better time to try something with Sam and maybe make it stick. But ultimately, the racing was brilliant. But it's better for everyone to watch the same person winning every week. And yeah, I'm really, like, Gary's really obviously pushed himself a lot, and obviously, like you say, with the other guys coming in, like, there's always someone faster than you, no matter who you are. So yeah, it's going to be a tough, fun-filled season, I think. Great to watch as well.
Yeah, and you know, you say you're not that keen on Watkins Glen. Red Bull Ring next time out. A, are you going to be there? And B, how do you normally go round there?
Yeah, let me put it to you this way. There are 3 tracks I'm looking forward to for this entire 12-week season. I think it's Knock Hill, Hungaro Ring, and Sonoma. The rest of the tracks, as far as I'm concerned, can get in a bin.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear. I must admit, I'm looking forward to Knock Hill. I don't actually like the track. It's a bike track, not a car track. But the fact that, you know, every track we go to, normally people have done thousands and thousands of laps. Knock Hill's going to be a bit new for everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, I did a lot of it in week 13. So I'm absolutely... I fell in love with it, and the combo in the TCR, I just feel like Jason Plato on a Sunday watching being in the touring car. It just makes you just...
What, that shit?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Maybe in his prime.
Yeah, all right, yeah 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, you know, again, I'm probably looking forward. I don't normally watch the broadcast back because I can't stand the sound of my own voice. But
I know the feeling.
I'm hoping that Yaz. There's no point asking Yaz. He's useless. Sam gets a really good curb cam where the cars go up on 2 wheels, and I shall probably just watch that all night because I think that's fantastic. But yeah. You know, great racing again tonight. I know you're usually up the front of the field, fighting it out for the wins, but there was battles all the way down the field. So credit to you TCR drivers. Keep up the good work. And any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, just the rest of the guys on the team. You guys for putting it all together and obviously attracting the full-on talent. And just the rest of the guys, Gary, Sam, Spencer, Mike. I know we had a bit of a coming together. It's unfortunate. I thought it was my fault. He kind of thinks this as well. I think it was just one of them things. Unfortunately, he just clipped the barrier. So just sorry to him because he wouldn't have hit it.
Put it all on you.
Well, I thought it was when 100%. I was driving. I went back and watched it, and I messaged him, and he was like, "I clipped the barrier," so obviously pushed him out to the left, and we hit because I thought I'd left enough room. But yeah, no, just obviously thanks to everyone, and I'm looking forward to the racing next week, not necessarily the track.
Excellent. Okay, mate. Well, thanks for joining us in the booth, and we'll see you next week and see if this barren spell ends.
It won't end anytime soon, I can guarantee that.
Right, well, you better dig those lucky underpants out again then.
Yeah, maybe I'll get some for Christmas.
Yeah, well, you never know. Yeah. All right, mate. Well, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on your 4th place. Probably. Oh, that's your worst finish for
It
2
is
seasons.
gradually worse.
Should have
Last week
started
was
off
my
with
worst.
that, shouldn't I? Yeah. Could have
Thought
made you feel
might do, to
really
be fair.
bad. Anyway, thanks for joining us in the booth. Always a pleasure. And have a good Christmas. We'll see you next time out.
Yeah, you too, guys. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So that's the interviews over. That's the fantastic racing over. And now you know what time it is. It's on the spot time. The favourite bit of the broadcast for all the drivers, the bit that they fast forward all the racing when they watch it back and just go to the driver of the meeting votes. So, Sam, who is your driver of the meeting?
I have absolutely no idea who to pick. I've been thinking the whole thing of interviews, but I don't know.
God, it's an easy pick tonight, mate. Easy.
Well, Wobbly, then, if it's an easy one. He won Van Miles. He's the best one. If Gary would have one, I would have gone for Gary, but no.
Okay, Yaz, your driver of the meeting.
I think mine is a somewhat easy, difficult one. I'm going with Sam Blees.
Boo! God, this is terrible. These boys just don't know what they're on about. It's really bad. The choice tonight is so obvious, okay? Everybody likes a trier, okay? We saw this driver have an incident, I believe it was lap 1 or lap 2, and then another incident, and he was way down the field, and he's out of it by miles, but he kept going. And it's what I always say to people. Don't matter what happens. Crash your car, get it repaired, get back out there. You never know what's going to happen in one of these races. My driver of the meeting, 3rd place in GT4, Jason Haddington.
Fair.
Right. So, next week, as Yaz has said, we are at the Red Bull Ring. Now, I've got to quickly get up my Google Drive because I have no idea what broadcast we are doing next week. Bear with me. Sing amongst yourselves. There it is. Oh, no, that's not it, you loon. Here we go. I found it. I think it is just so. Next week, obviously we've got Christmas coming up in a couple of days' time. We are back on the 29th, which is next Wednesday, with the GT4s from the fantastic Red Bull Ring. And then on the 2nd of January, we are back in BSTV truck action from Texas. So that's bound to be a good one. I'm glad it's not another road course in the trucks because that was horrible. Also, what I would like to say is I wish all of our drivers, all of our viewers, everybody that follows us, please have an absolutely wonderful Christmas. And I would normally say, and a Happy New Year, but we will catch you all again before the new year. I hope Santa brings you everything that you've wished for, maybe apart from Wobbly. And yeah, just really, really enjoy it. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for driving. That's the easiest way to put that. Make sure you drop this video a like. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. And make sure you follow us on Facebook. New year coming up. Lots of new exciting stuff going on. And yeah, it's going to be another fantastic year for BSTV. I shall say goodnight. Let the guys say goodnight. And then we will close and see you after Christmas. So, Merry Christmas again. Stay safe. And good night, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Be safe over the festive season, and we'll see you at the next race.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody, and see you next week.